As for setting up a low-cost carrier by a legacy carrier, prior to Qantas doing it, there was 100% failure. Nobody had achieved it. The ultimate risk, of course, was the brand risk for Qantas, an iconic Australian company. Getting this wrong would have been a severe dent to that very iconic brand. So how did we go about it? We prepared a detailed strategic plan addressing all aspects of the challenge. It was 300 pages long and 26 appendices. It became our Bible, and once signed off, there was no debate about what we were going to do. Some people may think that's a bit of analysis paralysis, going into too much detail. But in fact, that business case was created in 8 weeks. We had a great strategy, we believed, but it would only have been too easy to fail with poor execution. And most good strategies, people will tell you, fail at that level of execution. We managed this implementation risk in a number of important ways. First of all, the 20-person team that created the strategy, including myself, I led that team, went on to become the management team of Jetstar. 7 years later, Bruce Buchanan and others are still leading Jetstar. We built the plan, we owned the plan, we committed to it, and we delivered on it. There was no excuse in saying the strategy was bad, because we had the job of implementing what we said would work. Second, Jetstar obtained a high degree of independence. We made its headquarters in Melbourne and distinct workplace agreements, branding, and culture. This was to ensure that Jetstar achieved the most important part of the business case, which is to have the lowest cost operation in the Australian domestic market. But there was also careful coordination with Jetstar to ensure, with Qantas and Jetstar, to ensure that Jetstar did not cannibalise the Qantas routes. Because this was another big risk that had been as a result of some other carriers' attempt in this space. The cure, Jetstar, would become worse than the disease, and we had to make sure that that didn't occur. And finally, I said we had to be prepared for surprises of things that didn't work, and there were things that didn't work. Free seating was a good example. It had worked in nearly every other market around the world with 100% success rate. Think of Ryanair, Southwest, and EasyJet. And free seating does give you a huge cost advantage by getting passengers on the aircraft very fast because they're rushing to get to their seats. But it was hated by Australians, and it had a dampening effect on the growth of Jetstar. So we had to swallow our pride, even though it was a core part of the business case. And we had to return to allocated seating. And that allowed Jetstar to continue on a huge growth profile. That's what I mean about being adaptable and having the flexibility to modify what you thought was going to work. So now let me turn to the rewards we got related to the risk that we took with setting up Jetstar. And I could list a large number of key rewards that we've taken out of it. We'll focus on 3. First, we now have a great standalone business with revenues of $2.2 billion. Last year, Jetstar carried nearly 15 million passengers. It's bigger in passenger terms than Ansett was when it collapsed. We expect Jetstar to be bigger than Virgin within 5 years. It is already more profitable than Virgin. Qantas too also benefited. The advantage of having a clearly focused, low fares carrier is that we were able to differentiate Qantas more than ever as the best premium carrier. It freed Qantas to focus in on what it was good at and allowed Qantas to develop the premium market and devote itself to that. Today, we are making major investments to make Qantas the most desirable premium airline in the world.